So we're gonna start today. For the ones that haven't know who we are, with Marcos, we are the founders of Automate RevOps. What we actually do is we offer coaching and training programs for teams and persons that want to upskill and learn how to use Clay and start implementing automations and AI solutions into their sales processes. So we have a coaching program and we have also a Clay Hacker Playbook, which is a comprehensive guide on how to use Clay. So if you're interested in having our support as well and having us helping you to implement Clay into your company, just send us an email and we're happy to help you in any form. So today we're going to talk about the particular workflow of activating job posts as a way of triggering campaigns. So we're gonna build together an end-to-end workflow in this hour. If you share a LinkedIn post talking about the workshop today, we're gonna share with you as well the template that we're gonna build today. That's kind of what we do in order to promote this workshop that is free and access that has a free access for everybody that wants to start learning about how to use Clay. So as I told you, today's topic is how to how to go from companies hiring into clients. So the promise for you is that you're gonna leave this workshop knowing how to use these hiring signals to find companies that are actively hiring and qualify them and send them into a campaign. So probably if you are interested in this topic, you might probably have this recent need of finding companies that are hiring, because this can be a trigger if you are, let's say, a recruiter agency, you are a recruiter, or you want to sell something that is related to companies that are growing in different ways. Like, for instance, a job post that is related to a particular role on the GTM field, for instance, can be an insight that a company is investing into growing, into covering new markets, and also it can be related to implementation of new tools like a CRM or even Clay can be a good indicator if they have this keyword in their job description. So job posts are really, really interesting triggers. And the main thing that they have as a benefit is that the job post, the amount of job posts they're gonna see online are huge. So you can track a lot of companies that are posting every week. So you can create an automated system that send those messages, cold emails, or LinkedIn messages into those companies. But the thing is that if you're doing it manually, probably you are wasting a lot of time doing it. So if you are doing it manually, how many of you are doing it manually? And what's your current process? I'm really intrigued to know. So if you can drop that in the chat, we're happy to read it and understand your process and try to apply it as well in the process we're gonna build together today. So why Clay is a solution for this particular problem? Clay is a way to use the same information, the same intelligence, but in a smarter way, because you can automate the same process and you can control over the same process at scale. So you will be able to find more job posts, you will be able to qualify more leads in less time. So with Clay, you can automate hiring signals discovery from multiple job sources, not just from one source. You can enrich companies, different enrichment solutions. You can create hiring contextualized outreach. That means that you can create personalized messages, for instance, or you can send each lead to different campaign based on the type of job post, based on the description of the company, and so on. And you can scale those campaigns without losing the personal touch. So that's kind of the cool benefit of using Clay, is that you can scale it without limits. I'm reading your comment, Sarah. I have created a make scenario, but that every week sends me an automated email with companies in my SCP that are hiring SDRs, BDR managers. Then I add those to a Clay table for average. Okay, you can do the same on Clay from scratch. You can also use other tools to do that, but that sounds really cool. Um, if you can describe your Clay workflow, I'll be happy to also compare it with what we're going to build today, and maybe give you some tips extra. So what we see over a lot of companies is that they struggle to scale their operations because they are doing all these processes manually. So they spend a lot of time on this manual checking task, like sourcing job posts, finding information about those companies, qualifying those companies and job posts, creating personalized messages, send those messages, and so on. And right now, in this year, you can automate all those tasks and be able to recover that time to start investing that time into the tasks that actually add value to your processes and businesses. So what we actually see is that if this bar represents all the hours that you have availability of your team or yourself to invest in sales task, probably you might be spending 80%, 60%, 50% of your time on this data intensive task that you can automate, and only investing, let's say, 20% on these high value interaction tasks that are related to following up with leads, having conversation with them, and nurture them. So those type of tasks are the ones that actually are generating leads for you. The other ones are related to qualifying leads to find new opportunities. And if you can automate all those tasks and recover that time and invest it in high value interactions, in this example, for instance, you can increase the amount of leads that you can process for 4. So that's a lot. And let me explain it through another formula here to make it simpler and in revenue, so you can also understand it in revenue. If you have a team of 3 reps and they're investing 128 hours per month per rep into this data intensive task, and they are providing to you $150,000 per month. So there are each of these high value interactions are actually giving you $1,500 per hour. So let's say you recover 70% of these 128 hours. You will be able to recover $150,000 per month. So that's a lot of money that you're going to start growing your pipeline. And I'm not saying that you can automate all your tasks, your data intensive task from one day to another. But if you target that goal, probably in a year you will be able to increase the amount of hours that you have automated and being able to achieve this goal. So why is Clay so important in this case? Because Clay is a revenue operations orchestrator. That means that you can integrate in Clay many enrichment solutions, LLM models, and formulas, and many other functions that will help you to create a system that will run on autopilot for you. So you can have control on a system and you can improve the system in difference of having someone doing that task for you. Is that although you can have some processes established, you are not going to be there every time they are executing those tasks. And even if it is you that is executing this task, in some days you will be exhausted. In other days you'll be distracted. And we are human. I mean, we are able to commit mistakes. So having a system that runs in a trustful way makes you available for you to scale your operations, maintaining the same quality of the output of the system. So that's the main benefit of using Clay. So in Clay, you have 4 main functions. The first one is sourcing. So in this case, in this workflow today, we're going to source job post. Then we have a last action that is the integrate part in which you can send the data that you process inside a clay table into different tools that can be a LinkedIn messages sequencer, called email messages sequencer. It can be a CRM, it can be a Slack message, it can be many forms as you like. And inside the clay table, you have the capability to enrich the data. So if you are starting with a job post and you only have the title of the job that is being looked at, then you need a description, for instance, to qualify the job post. Then you need to enrich that data. Enriching means that you're going to bring that data that you are lacking to be able to perform the task that you want to do, in this case, a qualification process, into the clay table. So then you can process, that is the 4 tasks in clay that you can do, process the data using formulas or using LLM models, that means AI, to be able to create qualification process, AI messages, and many other use cases. So today we're going to build a workflow, end-to-end workflow, that will solve this particular challenge, that is creating an outreach campaign targeting companies that are hiring for GTM roles to offer them candidates. So the first task that we need to do is find businesses that are hiring. Then we need to qualify the job post. Then we need to qualify the company. Then we need to find hiring managers. Then we need to send them to a campaign offering candidate solutions. So we're gonna go step by step on into developing this workflow from step 1 to step 5. So the first step would be to find US companies actively hiring for GTM roles in the last 60 days. If you want to do it manually, you should go to LinkedIn Jobs and find those job titles using keywords. You can check on other platforms as well, and even in their in some companies' pages when they're posting their job search. You can copy the company names and job details. Manual verified job posts are still active, and then having all that data transcribed into another database if you like to qualify them later. But in Clay, it's as easy as creating a new table. In this case, I already have a workbook here that I created because I wanted to show you something really interesting. But let me show you how you can start with a new fresh table. So you need to create a new table, and you're gonna type jobs, and you will find this find jobs function. So this is a particular function that is gonna run on your plan. I mean, it won't cost you any credits to find this job post. And what you can do is use these filters. In this case, we need to find GTM roles. So let's go to market, go to market. Let's say we have these 3 keywords. Easy task in this case. You can add as many keywords as you like. You can even add exclusion words, keywords. So for instance, let's check out some of the results here. Senior recruiter. We have graduate GTM, marketing manager. We can use any of those. Executive assistant. We can use any of those as negative keywords. For instance, I don't want assistant. And then we start deleting those job titles. So if you are doing the same process on LinkedIn, probably will be more difficult to do it. And here you can have a lot of filters as well on LinkedIn. In this case, it's United States. And what we need to know is that the posting date has a maximum 60 days of being posted. So now we have another filter here. And you can also add here, for instance, the type of employment, if it is a full-time, part-time contract. You can add even if it has a recruiter or not. You can even start with a list of companies that you want to search if they are publishing job posts. And then you can limit the amount of records that you want to populate in this table. In this case, let's put the maximum here and limit the amount of job posts per companies. We don't have a limit here. We want to have them all because we will use that data to qualify the companies. All right, so then you can click on continue and import to new table, and you're gonna create a new table with this new job post. You can I always suggest you to, every time you create a new table, to turn off the table until you are 100% sure that the automation that you have in that table is going to be accurate and giving you the results that you like. Else, it can drive you to waste a lot of credits, even though you might not be agree with the result that you get. So let's continue for free. By the way, I'm gonna read the message that we have here in the chat. Yes, looking to see the ways to do it from scratch on Clay with signups. I understand since I'm in Spain, doesn't work as well as in the United States. Okay, so yeah, in some cases we have different ways to source job posts. There are many tools, and each tool have different benefits and cons, of course. So you need to find the best solution for yourself. In this case, we have used the native integration within Clay that has a connection with LinkedIn. So you will be able to get LinkedIn job post. But let me show you a comparison here. In these three tables, I did another job post search, but using different tools. In this case, I'm using Apify Google Scraper. And Apify is a solution that gives you access to a lot of different scraping solutions. In this case, I'm using Google Search Scraper. And for the same keywords that I'm using these other tools, we have 24 records here. The other tool that I use to test it is Centrion. Centrion is also a partner tool. They have the higher coverage in terms of job posts. And with this tool, I could get 54 job posts. I mean, more. And if you check here, the source, we have here Upwork mostly. And here we have mostly LinkedIn, but we also have Glassdoor, Career Builder, Simply Hire. And then using only Clay, we had 19 jobs. And as I told you before, they are all from LinkedIn. So depending on what you want to build, you can assess different solutions here and understand which one can bring you the more precise and qualified data for you. And you can even add them, like stack them together so you can have more coverage. But in this case, I'm going to show you from Clay, so you can only use Clay. You don't have to subscribe to any other solution to be able to get that data for you. So I have 792 job posts here that they are from these companies: Lensa, JobRite, we have Deloitte, Slalom, Seekers, Adobe, Amazon, Meta. We have a lot of big companies here. We can also use the filters to filter them out in terms of the size of the company and so on. But so far, this is okay. Let's say I want to start qualifying these job posts. So the next task would be to qualify these job posts for urgency, budget signals, and specific requirements. So in this case, if you want to do it manually, you can read through each job description and find keywords like urgent, immediate start, ASAP. Look for budget indicators like salary ranges that will indicate you that the company has enough budget to be able to hire someone. Identify open roles that are still active or still vacant for more than 30 days. this is a cool indicator because if a company has an active role and is not able to cover, probably if you have a recruitment agency, you will be able to offer them a good solution if you have a specialization or if you have already candidates for that particular field. Then note hiring timeline clues like fast growing team, expanding rapidly, and you can score and categorize each post manually. So in this case, if we are doing that on Clay, and you will notice here that if you click on any cell, you have the data set that Clay brings it to you. You have the salary range. That's really useful for this case that we need the salary range. But in order to get the description, to understand if we have these keywords, we don't have the description. Also, we don't have the description to find those timeline clues, but we do have the date that it was published, so we can know if the job is still vacant for more than 30 days. So we're gonna here map as well the time that it was posted. Okay, so we have the salary, we have the time it was posted. You can change here the format. So let's make it date so you can compare it and order them. Here, let's say, let's order from all those first. Now you have them all ordered. What you can do is start using the data that you have, and then we're gonna use another enrichment to find the data that you're lacking. So first of all, let's say every company have different qualification process. Right now, I'm creating a new qualification process out of the blue. Probably it won't be accurate, but this is like a demo for you guys. But you can apply your own rules here. So in Clay, you have the capability to add these formulas, which are like Google Spreadsheet formulas, like really similar to those, but you can use AI to create those formulas really fast and in a clever way. So here you just need to describe what you want to do, and it will create the full JavaScript description of the formula so you can implement it into the Clay table. So in this case, I want to say that print true only if, and then I can map here, salary minimum is over 100 or an 80 something dollars. So just by clicking on generate formula, it will create for me this JavaScript formula. If I agree with the results here, we have a sample. Let's say in this case, it's not over 150, $180,000. So it's false. That's okay. It's over $180,000. So that's true. So if you can assess that, and this seems good, then you can just click on output is correct. I'm gonna create for you a new column that have a checkbox with all the job posts that qualify, in this case, for salary minimum. Then let's do the same for the the dates of the post. So you can create a new formula here and then describe the formula. Print true only if, I will have here date, is older than 30 days ago. And now we have a new checkbox here. We can assess that today is 20 of August. So this is more than 30 days. This is not. That's okay. No. And yeah, that's okay. So we can now check on output is correct. And we have now a new checkbox that will verify for me that only this one is older than 30 days. Okay, we can change that. Let's just for this demo, let's make it to 20 days. Okay, now we have more job posts. Okay, so now we can use the filters here to find only the job posts that are qualified. And then for the job posts that are qualified, we can further qualify them by finding the description. So we don't enrich every job post, only the ones that are qualified based on the information that we already have for free. So in this case, you can go to filters here. You can select the column that you want to use as a filter. So this one is older than 30 days. It's check, okay. And you can add another filter here with a condition and then go to salary over 180. It's check, okay. So now, if you salary is over, yeah. Wait, hasn't applied yeah. Let's go over it again. Let's wait a bit. Okay, there we go. Now we have these 3 job posts in the last days that have been qualified in this criteria. In this case, I'm being really picky in terms of qualification process, but you can spread um, the range for your qualification, or you can add more job boards into the same table, so you can spread the amount of job posts find. Let's check some questions in the chat so far. Um, any max days since posted you recommend filter to? Okay, so there's kind of no max days depending on your strategy. I mean, if you are selling a product that you notice that a good trigger for you would be to have this new GTM leader in place, so you can track job post and then have like a maximum of 90 days and a minimum a minimum of 90 days and a maximum of 60 days. So you just create posts that are old enough for you to say that this company might have a new GTM leader in place. So you can use that as a qualification. So that really depends on the company. How can you add Abify as a source? Okay, so in that case, we're gonna share with you as well a tutorial after this workshop of how to do that, because it can take some time to do that. I don't know if the table auto enable that you just turn off. Then we'll get new jobs. Okay, so I have turned off the table. That means that this button is off. I mean, it's gray. You can turn it on whenever you like. But turning it on means that if you have an enrichment that costs you credits and you add a new row in here, probably it's gonna run this enrichment even if you are not 100% agree with that enrichment yet, because if you are building the table for the first time, you might have some issues. I mean, you won't be 100% sure that the results are the one that you want to get. So you will be spending credits on tasks that you don't want to get. For a staffing company, would you recommend more going through post than 10 days, for example, as they have not started the recruiting process officially, or more than 40 days as they can signal that they have an issue getting this candidate? Okay, that depends on what's your offer, the position of your company. Um, we can chat about that later, Leo. But that actually depends on the strategy. I mean, if you have a really well-positioned company, probably you can offer them a candidate right away. But if they don't know you, I mean, probably it's better to reach out when they are facing the problem of not finding the candidate. So, okay, now we have a list of companies. Now we need to get the description of this job post. So in Clay, you have the capability to use AI to scrape. If you click on use AI, I can ask in a prompt an AI to scrape certain website and retrieve me the result here. So I want to get me the, sorry, get me the description of this job post website. And I can map here the URL. Let's find the post dollar. Here, job LinkedIn URL. So I can click on generate. I'm gonna create for you a formula, sorry, a prompt with a full setup of this agent that will go and retrieve the data for you. So as you can see here, you can check here the full prompt. I always recommend you to read the full prompt before agreeing on running it. But in this case, since this is a demo and we want to build something really fast so we can show you everything, I'm not going to review every part of the prompt. What I'm going to share with you is that you have in Clay 3 different use cases of the AI enrichment. So the first one is the web research. That's named also Claygen, in which it is a web scraper plus an AI model. So you can not only scrape something in a web, but also analyze the web and determine next actions based on your prompt. So let's say you can determine which page to analyze with your prompt. So that's really, really useful. Then you have the image generation AI LLM model in which you can use Clay to create images starting from a prompt. And the next one, create a modified content, will only analyze and give you a processed data based on the prompt and the data that you already have on the table. So the difference between the first one and the third one is that the first one will also have the scraping function in it. Of course, it will gonna be more expensive. And here in the model, you can select different models to run the LLM model enrichments. You have the capability to use your own credit credits or you can connect your own API. So in this case, I'm using, let's select GPT-4o Mini, for one Mini. And here I have connected already my API key, so I can use that API key and save my Clay credits instead using my tokens from OpenAI platform. So after the prompt, you're gonna see here the fields. The fields are the output format of the information that you want to get, so it's really easy. And here you have the run setting in which you can determine if this column, if the table is on, if this column will run automatically, or if you turn off, even if the table is on, this column won't run automatically and you'll need to run it manually. So that gives you power and control over the same process. In this case, I'm gonna turn it on because the table is off, so I don't need to manage each column. And here you have the condition to only run if. This is the way that you can tell Clay only enrich companies, in this case job posts, if the job post is qualified. So you can click on use AI and you can use also this box to determine which is the qualification process that you want to Clay to review before using this enrichment. So in this case, run only if, and then we have here this choose checkbox, older than 30 days, and salary is are true, are both true. Okay, so now we have a new formula here. They're gonna check if both qualification processes are checked, then only then we're gonna run this use AI model. Okay, so we can run it, and you will see here that it's gonna create for you a new column, and it's gonna start running this column for you. I'm gonna retrieve you the results here. Good thing to know as well that in Clay you have a function to auto-deduct records. So in this case, this is the button here. You can check this button. It's gonna open a window for you. Okay, no description font. This is weird. Okay, let's change the model here. Let's try with Margon, which is a little more expensive. In some cases, the cheapest model doesn't work. Although I tried yesterday and it worked, so let's try it again. Okay, I'm trying to click this button, but it's not working today. I might have to send a ticket to Clay, but when you click this button, you will see a window similar to when you turn off the table. And this button will tell you and will give you the option to select which column you want to use as a unique identifier for the job post. So then if a new job post appear and have the same job post, it can delete it. You can use the same unique identifier for companies if you don't want to get all information about different job posts from the same companies, or you can use for the same job post. Okay, let's check it out. Here we have the description. Okay, the other ones are still running. So now using the description, what we want to get is keywords like urgent, imminent start, ASAP. So you can also use a formula here. Um, print true only if you find any of the following keywords here, and you map the description here. Immediate start. What one was urgent? Okay, so now we can use this parameter to also qualify leads or job posts. In this case, since we already have three, we don't want to disqualify them, but you can create your own process, like using the same process here, to be able to qualify it based on your criteria. Now that we have a list of free job posts that are qualified, you can notice here that we have two from the same company and one from a different company, that's Salesforce. If you want to enrich the company data here in the same table, you will need to enrich this company twice. So that would be a waste of credit. In this case, we only have three companies, but if we had more, let's say I remove this salary over 180, so I have more companies. You can find that there are many companies that will need to enrich more than one. So Microsoft, Amazon. Uh, so in that case, the best way to solve it when you are creating a table based on a trigger, is to send only the companies into another table to be able to unify the enrichment of that company. So you can use the function send table data, and you can send all the data here, but not this one because this is sorry, this one has not run for all the columns, so we don't want to get that data. But the other ones, we can create a new table here, and we can send those records. We only need the company name, location, probably company domain. That's okay. Post that this information is not needed. We just want to send the company names. Sorry, let's send for all of them. I just ran it for 10 rows. But it's gonna create for me a new table with all these new companies that we just find. And if new companies, I mean, new job posts appear in this table, um, we'll send the company name into that other table. But in that other table, we can create an auto deduct function. So we are deleting all the companies that are appearing more than once. So now let's run the other ones. And let's find this new table here. And in this new table, now it's working the AutoDAP. You can turn on the AutoDAP and select company domain. So 40 duplicates will be deleted and you will only have one record per company. That make it way easier for you. This is not needed, urgency keywords. This is way easier for you to enrich now the company. So let's qualify the company as well. So in this case, I want to qualify the company based on the size and based on hiring patterns. So based on the size, what you can do is use an enrichment to find employee count. For instance, this is a waterfall enrichment. A waterfall enrichment will run different enrichments until you get the information for you. So this one, if you create it, you can see all the possible tools that are gonna look for that information for you. So you can order them based on the quality of the data, on the cost of the data. So you can run the ones that are cheapest first and then run the other ones. Or you can order them by quality of the data or whatever purpose that you want to get. So let's just add these 6 ones. And you only need the company domain to run it. So that's going to be okay. And if you click on save, you're going to create for you these new columns that is going to enrich that data for you and get you the amount of employees they have. Also, if you want to get, now we have it. Okay, so we have a list of employees and we can also have if they have more than one job post open right now. So if you click on add enrichment and you look for the function, look up for multiple, sorry, for multiple, here, multiple rows in our table. This is a cool function that we're gonna look for information that you have in our table. So in this case, I'm going to find all the job posts that these companies had in that table that was companies from job boards, I think. Find jobs table, company from job boards. So here, sorry, it's not that one, it was the previous one. Find jobs table. Okay. Yeah. Here, you can find all the companies that match the same company domain. So company domain is equal to the information that we have in this table that is the company domain. So if we run it, we can get all the other job posts that we have in that period table into this table. And now we know how many job posts they have published in the last 60 days that are related to GTM roles. So now we have two criteria that we can use to qualify companies. Okay, so let's name it active posts, and the other one is employee count. That's okay. Now we can use another checkbox here, another formula. So print me true if active post is over 10 and we have here employee count. This is the result. Is over 10, 1,000 employees. I don't know. This is another qualification process that you should have depending on what you are trying to achieve. So here now we have a new checkbox that we can use to filter the companies and just to find people uh, for the companies that are qualified. So using the same process here, you can check on the select the column that you want to filter, click on filter. That will also create a filter automatically here. And now we can use the function in Clay that's find people at these companies. So that's the next task here, that is find contact information for the actual hiring decision makers. So that will be VP of sales, head of marketing, chief revenue officer. So here we have a dashboard and a filter that we can use here to find job titles to include. So it's chief revenue officer, chief revenue officer. What else was it? VP of sales, B of sales, and head of marketing. Okay, you can add as many keywords as you like. This is an example only. Let's add United States. And also you can add here, okay, we already have here that if you want to send those leads into a LinkedIn campaign, checking how many connections they have is a great filter to check only active profiles. So let's add 500. So those are the active profiles on LinkedIn. So you can import into a new table here, and you're gonna have the information about their LinkedIn profile, the name, job title, and location of those leads. And some of them will be, I mean, working for the same company. So for the same job post, we might have different people that can be in charge of that. So one way to be able to determine who actually is in charge is by using the location of that person. For instance, okay, so Clay now is not on my side today. I had this error here, but anyways, let's try again. Okay, now it works. You can turn off the table as well here. So now we have the company domain, we have the LinkedIn profile. We can use the same function here to look up for, in this case, we're gonna use single row. And let's find the table with the jobs. Let's target the company domain equals company domain. So now we have the information about the most recent job post, because you're gonna find the first one in the order and bring it back here. So then by having that data here, you will know the actual location of that job post. And by having the location, you can use AI to determine print me true only if this location is this location here is the same as or similar or close, else false to let's say 200 miles. So now we can use the AI to be able to qualify those leads based on how close they are to that new job post. That may be a very good way to qualify them. There are other ways as well, but in this case, let's test this. Now we have a checkbox that for this particular way, it's gonna tell me if this person lives near the location that this new job post was looking for. So we can also use here, sorry, here we can map the job title, and we can use a formula here to create a message. So output the following message. This is not the way that we usually recommend our clients to create messages, but this is a demo of how you can do it. So, hey, then we have name. Uh, I noticed that you had this open role for, and then you can map the job title here. In, you can also use the location. Um, I might have some candidates for you. And if you create this formula like this, it's gonna create for you a message that can be personalized to each of those leads based on the job title. Hey, can I notice that you have this open role for in, okay, I might have some candidates for you. That's kind of a quick message. And if you want to find their emails, you can go to enrichment and type email. And here you can find personal work email. And then as the following, as the prior waterfall enrichment that we did, just select the enrichment tools that you want to run. Let's say we want to run these free ones. And click on save and run for the first 10 rows. And now you have not only the message, you also have the qualification based on the location, the qualification based on the job post, qualification based on the company. Um, and now you have everything that will allow you to send an email reaching out to those leads. So in order to do that, that's going to be the last step, launch a multi-channel outreach. You can use as many solutions to send cold emails. In this case, we have an integration with SmartLead. So you can create a new SmartLead automation that's called add lead to campaign. Let's say you already have that campaign up and running, and you kind of select the campaign here. You map the fields that you want to send, so first name, last name, email. In this case, even custom fields. Let's name it email one, and then you can map the message that you send it here, and that's it. You're gonna be sending those leads into that SmartLink campaign so you can start populating those campaigns. So we're almost on time, like always. Well, we have any other question here? Okay, so if you have any other questions, you can drop it in the chat. If you have any feedback as well, happy to hear you. We're gonna share with you this template as well. If you only share a LinkedIn post, they're gonna share with you after this call. Is there any free training? I'm gonna share with you a template of how to set up Apify. You can find a lot of our videos on YouTube as well. There are free trainings. Um, if you want our personalized support, reach out to us and we can help you understand which are the ways that we can help you achieve your goals. Also, if you want to be part of the Slack community, I'm going to share with you a link. Uh, there we go. All right. Any questions, Leo?
Yeah, thank you. More than a question, and just I want to make sure David did not ask me to say this, and I'm not getting paid to say this, but just wanted to share my experience because it may help some of you. I started working with David and Marcos 2 weeks ago, and it has been very fulfilling and very, very useful. It's not like one of those courses or supports where they just, after you pay, you start working with a random person. You actually get access directly to David, and that has been a huge difference for me. It had saved me a lot of time learning Clay and doing the workflows. And I think that it has even paid for itself because I have saved probably a lot of mistakes that could have cost me money with the tricks and tips that you have shown me on how to save money using Clay. So just wanted to do that live referral. Anyone in the position of maybe looking for personalized help, reach out to them, see if they can help you. It's been very, very worthy for me. So just wanted to share that.
Thank you, Leo. Really kind words. Really
Thank you for all
appreciate
the help.
the work that we're doing together. Thank you. We have a question here from Gabriel. Did you guys use AI to try to personalize the message and build the average message? In this example, we didn't, but you can do that. I mean, we have also a template of how to do that. And the thing is that if you use AI to create messages, it will be more expensive, but the messages will be really um, outstanding in terms of the personalization that you can achieve. Um, it can take more times to successfully set up everything if you want to use an LLM model, or you can use a solution like Twain that will be more expensive. Recommendations or right practices to do that? Well, uh, it is. I can share with you. Write me after the workshop. I can share with you the template of what we built so far. But it's not so easy to set up everything. And you need to have really clarity about what you want to build, what you want to send before. Else, you can use a solution like Twain. Twain is really fast and straightforward to use. It's an integration within Clay, but it costs you 3 credits per message or per sequence, sorry. So that would be kind of the other solution. Okay, guys, it was a pleasure meeting you. And if you have any other questions, let us know in a message, in an email. Next week, we're going to cover other topics. And tomorrow, we have another live session with Marcos, in this case, Petra Hahal. So, of course, I'm going to invite you because this session is going to be really useful if you want to know more about the GTM future. So, see you next time. Bye bye.